Hi, my name is Veronica. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry that the lighting is kind of up and down throughout this whole video. I've just been using natural light. This is my first YouTube video ever, so if you'd like to join me along my journey through YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you guys here. Today I'm going to be doing this New Year's Eve glam look for teens or for makeup beginners. There's a ton of videos out of New Year's Eve glam looks, but they all have winged liner, glitter, cut creases, and I'm not as talented to do that. So I just wanted to put together a video to help people who still want to do a makeup look on New Year's Eve, but maybe aren't as developed to do a cut crease or the winged liner that all the videos out there are doing. So I hope this video helps. Comment down below. Please give this video a thumbs up, and let's get on into the video. Okay, to start off this look, I already moisturized my face. So I used the Garnier Skin Active Clearly Brighter Moisturizer. It has SPF in it, so it just protects your skin because I don't want wrinkles. Okay, I just put Carmex on my lips just because lips are the last thing that I'm doing in the look. By the end, they'll be all moisturized. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in the shade Taupe. I'm just going to do light strokes throughout my brow to make it look natural, but just a little bit filled in. Nothing too crazy. You don't want to put too much pressure with the pencil because then it will make your eyebrows look not as natural, and we want people not to tell that they've been filled in. I barely do any in the front, just barely, because if you make it harsh in the front, it will just look like your eyebrows are just blocks. So I just do light motions at the front of the brow, and then always using my spoolie to brush through the product so you don't end up with any harsh lines. Alright, I'm gonna prime my eyelids. I'm gonna take the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden. You don't need an eyeshadow primer. You can use any concealer that you have, foundation. I just recommend putting something on your eyelids before you go in with your eyeshadow because it gives the eyeshadow something to hold on to, and it makes sure that your eyeshadow doesn't crease throughout the day or break apart. So I'm going to put this on my eyelids. Also, it cancels out any color you have on your eyelids so that you get the true color of the eyeshadows and you don't see any coloration if you have on your eyelids. And I'm just taking a beauty sponge. This one's from Real Techniques. Any beauty sponge works, or you can use your finger or you can use a brush, whichever is your preference. Now I'm taking some translucent powder. This one's from Laura Mercier. You can use any translucent powder, and I'm just going to take it on this fluffy brush from Morphe, and it's the M441, and just setting my eyelids, just dusting the powder. You can set it, you don't need a translucent powder. If you have a light colored eyeshadow, you can set it with that. If you have a foundation powder, you can also set it with that. Just make sure you do set it. It will make the eyeshadows blend way easier, because if you don't set it, the eyeshadows can hold to some parts of the cream or the base that you put on, and your eyeshadow can end up looking patchy. Now I'm going to take my Morphe 350 palette in the same brush that I set my eyelids with. I'm going to use for the transition shade. So I'm going to go in with this color right here, this light brown. This just makes sure that everything all over blends easier and it makes everything look more flawless. So I'm just blending this, doing back and forth motions and some circular motions, focusing most of the product on the outer part of my eye. Well, when you put more product on the inner part, it darkens it right here, and then it makes your eyes look droopy. And so when you focus it more out, it just looks more cat eye. Once it's mostly blended, just blending forward more in back and forth motions. Just doing the same exact thing to the other eye. Now that we have the transition shade done, I'm going to take this darker brown and focus this a little bit lower in the crease. So yeah, I'm focusing most of it on the outer. I'm not really going towards the inner part of my eye right now. And then once most of the product's done, then I'm going back and forth. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now that we have that done, I'm going to grab a smaller brush. I'm gonna grab this, oh dear, this base shadow brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to go in with my Modern Renaissance palette. That's so satisfying. All right, now I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm taking Cypress Umber, don't know if I'm saying that right, and putting that on the outer V. So just packing it right there on the outer part. And then taking our first brush and just blending that all in. I'm actually gonna take the brush that comes in this palette, and I'm gonna grab that color and pack it on the, oh there we go, yeah. And pack it on the outer third of my eye. I don't want to bring it too much up into the crease. Alright, it might look a little crazy right now, but I'm gonna put like a glittery eyeshadow on the other part of my eyelid so that it won't look as crazy. I'm taking the brush that comes with the palette and just blending it. I'm gonna take the same brush we started with and just keep blending. Now that I'm all done with deepening up the outer third of my crease, I'm gonna take Primavera from the same Modern Renaissance palette. Okay, now I'm taking the brush that comes with the palette, this side of the brush, and I'm gonna spray my brush. Ooh, that's smart. I'm gonna spray my brush with some setting spray. This is just the Maybelline Master Fix setting spray. Then I'm gonna dip it into Primavera. This makes it more metallic-y and go on smoothly. You're putting it on the inner 2/3 of your eyelid. Alright, see, and now the outside doesn't look so crazy. Now that the glitter eyeshadow is all on there, I'm going to take the first brush that we started with, and I'm going to take Raw Sienna in the Anastasia palette, just barely any, and I'm just going to put this on the outer part just so everything still looks smooth. And then I'm going to take the brush that comes with the Anastasia palette. We're going to take Warm Taupe, and I'm going to tap it over where the glitter and the dark eyeshadow meet, just so it all looks seamless and there's no harsh line of glitter and then dark eyeshadow. Then taking this brush and just kind of blending everything, and then lightly, you can just lightly blend back and forth. You don't want to blend the glitter away, but just blend everything out. So I'm done with the eye look. I personally don't wear foundation or concealer under my eyes. I spot conceal some blemishes that I have. So now if you do wear foundation or concealer, this is when you would put on your foundation and concealer. I recommend doing your eyeshadow before you do your face makeup, because if you have any fallout with your eyeshadow, it will get on your face makeup and then it'll be a mess. So I personally would do my eyeshadow first if I did face makeup. Now I'm taking the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser Primer, and I'm just putting this, I like to put on blush and highlighter, so I'm just putting this on the areas that I would put on my blush and highlighter. So maybe the tip of the nose, Cupid's bow, and just mostly focusing it on the tops of my cheeks, which is where I put my highlighter. Now I'm going in with blush. I'm taking the Tarte blush and just lightly putting on a little bit of blush just to give a little color. This blush shade is called Party, which I guess is fitting for New Year's Eve. And I'm just using Real Techniques Instant Pop Cheek Brush. So now I'm just going to go in with highlighter. I'm taking the Becca Champagne Pop Highlighter. And since it's New Year's Eve, I'm probably going to use more highlighter than I do on a normal day-to-day basis. And I'm going to be putting this on the tops of my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, and a little bit on my cupid's bow. And probably with this lighting, you can't really see it that well, but that will change in the future. I'm going to get better lighting, hopefully. When you're putting on your highlighter, don't go back and forth because you can end up just looking like you have a stripe. And so what I like to do is take the highlighter and I just start like right here on the apple of my cheek and do downward little strokes all the way up to here. So that way when you like turn, the product like is bending with your skin, if that kind of makes sense, and it's not just like a stripe on your skin. It like goes with the natural bone structure. A little bit on the nose and then a little bit on my cupid's bow. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to spot conceal. So I'm just taking this Tarte concealer. It's Maracuja Graceless. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Maracuja, I think it is. And I'm just gonna put this on any blemishes that I have. I'm gonna put some on there, a little bit right here, a little right there. And I'm just gonna take my ring finger and just blend it all out. You can either set it with a translucent powder or a foundation powder. Today I'm going to set it with a translucent powder just so I can really press it into my skin and I don't want any additional coverage. So I'm taking the translucent powder on the back of my damp beauty sponge and I'm just going to press it in. This makes the product melt into the skin and pressing it in really makes it stay all day. And if it doesn't cover, because that one doesn't look like it's going to cover it today as much as I would like it to, it's fine. Getting blemishes is a part of life. Okay, now all I have left to do is the lower lash line and mascara. Since it is New Year's Eve and I want to go a little bit more smoky, I'm gonna take raw sienna and put that on my lower lash line first. I'm going all the way to the inner corner. Now I'm taking the Cypress Umber and just packing that just really close to the lash line and just on the outer half. And I'm connecting it up. So connecting it on the outer half, really close to the lash line, and connecting it to the upper lash line. Alright, now that I'm done with the lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade Vermeer and put that on my brow bone and inner corner. I have this e.l.f. little blending brush. I'm just gonna take a little bit of it and just pop it in the inner corner. This just brightens up the inner corner of your eye, and putting on your brow bone just lifts your brow bone a little bit. I just got up and got some makeup remover and a Q-tip. And from the bottom of the lash line, just drawing a line up. You'll get a little bit of product, but this will just sharpen up the outside. I'm not talented enough to do a wing liner. If you can do a wing liner, that would look really good on this look. I'm just trying to get the cat eye effect just by using some Q-tips and makeup remover. I don't have an eyelash curler. If you have an eyelash curler, I would recommend curling your lashes first. So since I don't have one, I'm just going to go straight in with mascara. I'm taking this Buxom mascara and I'm coating my top lashes and then doing a little bit on the bottom. I just keep my eye open. I keep my eye open and run the product through. Whatever method works for you. Blinking sometimes helps too. And then just doing it on the bottom too. I do zigzags on the bottom. Alright, now that mascara's on, I think that's it. Also, if you can put on false eyelashes, or if you have false eyelashes, you can put those on as well. Now all I have left to do is I'm just gonna set my brows using some clear brow gel from Anastasia. And this makes your eyebrows, oh dear, I don't want to get into my hair. This makes your eyebrows just stay in place all night. Also, a trick I did before, if you have any spoolie, you can spray the spoolie with some hairspray and run that through your brows too, because that's what I used to do, and it works really well. I'm taking this nude lip gloss from Forever 21 and just putting it on. And the final step is setting spray. We want our makeup to last all night. We spent so long putting it on that we want it to stay, especially for New Year's Eve. We don't want our makeup to be falling off our face or creasing when the ball's dropping. So now I'm just gonna spray my face with Maybelline setting spray. I don't do a ton because I just don't like a ton. And then I'm just fanning my face. And that's it. Alright, this is the finished makeup look. I hope this helped you guys out a little bit or gave you some inspiration of what you want to do for your New Year's Eve glam look. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!